All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the New York Giants. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Black gun out, Billy. Set. Green, the line. Green, the...
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. And this is caught by Fells, right side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Back to throw, Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Here we go now.
Here's a give to Barkley. Skirts by him at the 35. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. And we just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little game into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On second down, here's Barkley. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him and take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then.
Detroit!
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. A first down carry for Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And Tate's got it. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go now.
Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Black 22! Black 22!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Tiger!
on second down. Here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
From the gun on third, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Jackson on second down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a play fake here on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. 20. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing is Jackson. Flush to his right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. A terrific run by the rookie Barkley. 49 yards on the ground. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are in for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally, you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now a first down throw, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now Saquon Barkley, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Watch it now, Barney!
On second down, Jackson. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the run?
It's caught inside the 25. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Come back, come back! Four down.
To throw on second down, Watson. Now he'll escape to his left. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Third and 2, Watson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, That'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A handoff to Barkley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Jackson to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And here comes the Texans now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now it's Watson fighting to stay upright. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything good.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bernardrick McKinney able to drop him for a loss of 4.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. It's Barkley on the counter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On on second down. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What would Big Al was thinking on draft night? Had to be so happy for his son. But they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they do finally get him at the 12. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 47 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Watson, option left. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He may try and run for this. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down.
We've been at enough practices, and how many times have we stood on the sidelines and a unit goes out to kick a field goal and hear a special teams coach say, make sure you protect. First thing, protect. And here they give up a block.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this, tied second half. This is when execution is so key.
They go over everything in the huddle. The last thing you're going to hear everywhere, make sure you protect. That didn't get done.
They'll go to Barkley again. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will get out of bounds. So fortunately, very fortunately, in fact, they'll keep possession at the 1-yard line. And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A very solid gain of 27. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back now in Houston. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter.
Come back.
To throw on second is Watson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Finding fouls complete. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw is Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Here's Watson. Stepping up. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Now it's Barkley. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And running with power here. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pull, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Come back, come back. Tiger.
After the interception, here's Watson. Airing it deep for Garcon. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing again is Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have broken the tie. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too...
It's a foot race. The 30, 10, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Texans. This game wasn't tied for long. How about that? A big return here in the fourth.
And this is that time of game where every big play is magnified. Fourth quarter, kick return for a touchdown. You've got to feel great about your chances at this stage of the game.
Yeah, they regain the lead. Now we'll see if they can hold it. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
To Barkley on the check down. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it second down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. Looking left sideline is complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Back to throw. Dancing to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Reset.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. As it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Watson. Buying time to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
He's back to throw. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. In the final minute, and the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. The Texans were penalized 124 times last year, third most in the NFL, and now they come up 1st and 15. Watson now to throw. Complete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guy's going out for passing.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back, come back. We got three.
Watson being chased out left. He's going to run. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And now out come the Giants. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds. And that's going to do it right there. They're going to run out of time, and we're going to be headed for OT. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that is incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now he's going to throw deep back over. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He can run for it, and he will. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier.